You know how we talk to our AI all the time? Well, what if it could start acting for us? We are right on the edge of this massive shift, turning our AI from parrots that just kind of repeat things into pilots that could actually, fly the plane.
Just think about that for a second. A parrot, it's an amazing mimic, right? It can repeat words perfectly, but it has zero clue what it's actually saying. Now, a pilot understands the destination. They use a whole cockpit of complex tools and make split-second decisions to get you where you need to go. And that is the incredible leap that AI is making right now.
So what's the big deal here? It really all boils down to one fundamental game-changing shift. We're moving from prediction to action. For the last few years, the magic of these large language models has been all about predicting the next word. It's a conversation. But this new agentic AI, it's deciding on the next action. It doesn't just respond to you, it acts for you.
Okay, so to really get how huge this new age of AI pilots is, we've got to first understand where we're coming from. For the past few years, we've basically been living in the age of the parrot. AIs that are brilliant conversationalists, but when it comes to actually doing anything, well, they're a little bit stuck in their cage.
And this table really gets to the heart of it. Let's break it down. The parrot's world, it's just a single prompt and a single answer. It's stuck in that one moment. But the pilot, its world is totally dynamic. It's always changing. Same with how they get rewarded. The parrot gets a thumbs up for a well-written sentence. The pilot, on the other hand, gets rewarded for every single step it takes that gets it closer to its final goal. One's a sprinter, the other is a cross-country navigator.
So what's the secret sauce? What's the tech that's actually giving these AI pilots their wings?
It's this really powerful concept called agentic reinforcement learning. And listen, this isn't just a simple software update. We're talking about a complete reimagining of what an AI is. It's taking it from being a static machine that just spits out text and turning it into a genuine agent that learns, evolves, and makes decisions.
You don't have to take my word for it. The researchers who are literally building this stuff, they put it perfectly. They're reframing these models from passive sequence generators into autonomous decision-making agents. And the key phrase here is embedded in complex dynamic worlds. That means the AI is no longer just on your screen, it's an actor in the world. Okay, so if this AI is a pilot, what's in its cockpit? What are the essential tools it uses to get around? It really comes down to 3 absolutely critical skills that let it plan, use tools, and remember. First up, and this one is a biggie, is planning. This is what separates simple reaction from actual intelligence. It's the ability to look at a huge goal, break it down into a series of smaller, doable steps, and then figure out the smartest path to get there.
And here's the wild part. These agents actually learn how to be better planners over time. Sometimes they get help from an external guide. Think of it like a flight instructor giving feedback on their flight plan. But other times, it's all internal. The agent just learns from its own experience, from its own trial and error. It's literally building its own intuition.
All right, so a pilot has a plan. Great. But a plan is pretty useless if you can't actually, use the controls. For an AI agent, this means using tools. This is where the AI stops just talking about things and starts doing things, messing with software, running code, talking to other programs. And the way they use tools is getting so much smarter. The old way was like following a recipe word for word. But the new way? Now we're talking about a master chef. The agent learns to reason, to strategize, deciding when to use a tool, which one is best, and how to use it, all based on what's working and what's not.
And finally, the third crucial tool. Any good pilot needs to remember where they've been so they know where they're going. And that, of course, is memory. This is what lets the agent tackle those really long, complicated projects without getting lost.
But look, this is not your computer's hard drive. The old AI memory was kind of like a passive filing cabinet it could look things up in. Now, memory is an active, dynamic system. The agent is learning to manage its own mind, deciding what's important enough to store, what it can forget, and when a past experience might help it solve the problem it's facing right now.
All right, that's enough theory. Let's get to the fun part. What can these AI pilots actually do? Let's check out a few places where these agents are already taking flight.
First off, the research agent. Imagine you tell an AI, hey, figure out the latest on battery technology. Instead of just giving you a bunch of links, it could read 50 research papers, pull out the key findings, notice where they disagree, and just hand you a finished report. It's not just finding information, it's creating new knowledge.
Then you've got code agents. Think of these as your own personal, tireless software engineering intern. You can give it a task like, hey, there's a bug in the login system, or add a Contact Us button to the homepage, and it can actually dive into the code, understand it, and make the changes all by itself.
And this one is genuinely mind-bending. Math agents. These AIs are not just solving for X, they're tackling incredibly complex mathematical theorems by building formal, verifiable, step-by-step proofs. We're talking about the kind of pure, logical reasoning that's at the very foundation of math. It's just, wow. Now, it's really easy to get carried away with all this excitement, right? But the truth is, this journey from Parrot to a fully autonomous pilot, well, it's really just getting started. There's still some massive challenges we have to solve. It really boils down to three giant questions. First, trust. How do we make absolutely sure these agents are reliable and safe, and that they won't just learn to cheat the system to get their reward? Second, scale. Training these AI pilots takes a truly insane amount of data and computer power. How do we make that more efficient? And finally, training grounds. A pilot needs a flight simulator. How do we build virtual worlds that are complex and messy enough to actually prepare these AIs for the real world?
And all of this leaves us with one final and maybe most important thought. As we give AI the power to plan, to use tools, to remember, and to act all on its own, the real work isn't just building the technology. It's making sure that its actions are always aligned with our best interests. The challenge isn't just building a pilot. It's making sure we can trust where it's flying.